People said he was foolish, some said he was desperate, but no one knew the truth. Because the job he took, the one everyone avoided, the one people laughed at him for, would become the one decision that saved not only his future, but the life of the one person he loved most. This is the story of a single dad who stepped into the darkness with nothing but hope and found a light that changed everything. Ethan Carter had never imagined life would bring him here, standing outside a decaying building on the edge of town, holding a folder of paperwork and trying to convince himself that he wasn't making a huge mistake. The old brick walls were stained with years of neglect. Faded signs clattered in the wind. Broken windows stared at him like dark, hollow eyes. This was it. The job everyone avoided. The job he had sworn he would never take. But life changes fast when you're a single father. His 8-year-old daughter, Lily, needed stability, school fees, food, medicine for her asthma, everything. And since his wife had passed away 2 years ago, every responsibility had fallen on his shoulders. He worked part-time jobs, shifts that kept him awake until dawn, but money was slipping through his fingers like sand. So when the city posted an opening for the night caretaker of the abandoned Riverside Community Center, a place known for vandalism, strange noises, and rumors, Ethan swallowed his pride and signed the contract. He pushed open the door. It groaned like an old creature waking from sleep. Inside, the hallways were dim, dusty, and cold. The smell of dampness clung to the air. He set his backpack down on a desk that hadn't seen use in years. "Dad, do you really have to work here?" Lily had asked earlier, her voice small but brave. Ethan had forced a smile. "It's just for a while. And guess what? Every morning when I come home, I'll make you pancakes." "Deal." She nodded, trusting him completely. And that trust was both Ethan's strength and his greatest fear. Hours passed as he swept floors, collected broken furniture, and checked each room for damage. The place wasn't dangerous, it was just forgotten. Abandoned. But in a strange way, Ethan understood it. He knew what it felt like to be overlooked, dismissed, left behind. Near midnight, he found a room he hadn't noticed before. The sign outside read, "Art Studio." He pushed the door open and froze. Inside were murals, faded but beautiful, paint-splattered tables, broken easels, and on one wall, the outline of a huge, unfinished painting, a sunrise over a river. He stepped closer. Something tugged inside him. His late wife, Anna, had been an artist. This room felt like stepping back into her world. It hit him so hard he had to sit down. The silence swallowed him, but instead of feeling empty, he felt connected. Maybe this place wasn't as broken as everyone thought. Maybe, like him, it just needed someone to care. And that's when Ethan noticed a small notebook under a pile of brushes. Inside were pages of sketches and messages from kids who once came here. Kids who'd love this place. He whispered, "This could be something again." That night, a seed was planted. A thought. A possibility. A spark. And Ethan didn't know it yet. But that spark would change not only the building. It would change his life. Weeks passed. The job was exhausting, the nights were long, and the pay was barely enough. But the community center, the dusty, lifeless building, began to shift because of Ethan. He painted the halls, fixed broken chairs, scrubbed floors until they shined. With every small improvement, hope grew. And soon, unexpected things began to happen. One night, a teenager named Marco wandered inside. He had been part of the center years ago when it was still alive. "You brought this back?" the boy asked. Ethan shrugged. "Just cleaning up." Marco looked around, eyes gleaming. "This place was everything to us. We learned, we played, we stayed out of trouble here." Word spread. The next night, 2 more teens arrived. Then 5. Then a group of mothers from the neighborhood. They offered to help repaint walls, fix lights, donate old equipment. The place that had been abandoned started to breathe again. One evening, Ethan showed them the unfinished sunrise mural. Lily stood beside him, now more confident, more joyful. "We should finish it," she said. Her eyes sparkled like her mother's. The entire room agreed. So they painted together, kids, teens, parents, Ethan and Lily, turning the blank wall into a burst of color. It wasn't perfect, but it was alive. The mayor visited weeks later. Shocked, impressed, he offered Ethan a permanent role, not as a caretaker, but as the new community program director. A job with real salary, real stability, real purpose. Ethan stared at the offer letter, tears blurring the words. He thought of his struggles, his sleepless nights, his fear of failing his daughter. Lily hugged him around the waist. "Dad, you did this." "No," he said softly. "We all did." The abandoned building wasn't abandoned anymore. It was a place of hope, a place of second chances. And for Ethan, it wasn't just the best decision of his life. It was the decision that gave him his life back. Sometimes the place no one wants, the job no one respects, the path people laugh at, is exactly where your purpose is waiting. Sometimes rock bottom is just the doorway to something beautiful.